Okay, so here we are inside the green building at Lemays Marymount Museum. And I say that because Lemays has a couple of museums that they're involved with. And we are currently, like I said, in the green building in the way back. And this is going to take us on a trip through time, so to speak, where you kind of can follow the journey of the automobile. And it's going to take us from 1886 with this Benz patent motor wagon replica. There were only 100 of these built, he told me, by Mercedes-Benz. And this is a replica, but this is the number one. And so we're going to go from this to the 1980s, which will be at the end. Hopefully this battery will last because this is the last battery I have. This is my third one for the day. I'm having a great time. And yeah, so this is going to be a mishmash of stuff between my phone and this. I believe that this, though, is something that, oh, sorry, had to move my little recordy thingy, is going to be something that a disabled person would have used back in the day. That would have steered and that would have motored, I guess. I don't know. I could be wrong. Some more homage to Harold Lemay. He was very well known in the local community, and he was a great guy from what I've been told. A lot of different types of engines on display there, and a great big beautiful Oldsmobile sign. Nice and crusty the way I like things. This is a Baldwin steamer car from 1899. I don't think we're going to get through all of this today, you guys, in the depth I would like to. Look at that steam engine there. But we're going to be back here because I do want to volunteer here. This is a curved dash replica of a 1903 Oldsmobile Model A. And I believe this was also a steam engine like they indicated. 1906 Ford Model N Runabout. Ooh, look at this. This is the real deal. I would tap it to show you, but I don't want to get in trouble. Pretty sure I'm on camera. Look at this. This is so cool. You know, they still use these kind of things on certain batteries today. Old wall of tools. 1907 Pierce Great Arrow. I can imagine this being used for touring. Well, I mean, hang on, my phone just going off. Oh, my friend Sterling is doing a live stream, I think. Either that or my phone just really wanted me to say his name on camera. Look at this thing. Wouldn't that be cushy? Gosh. You could fit 2, 4, 5, 6 people into driver. Locomobile Model E here next. And again, we're going to walk through rather quickly. If there's anything that you guys want to see in more detail, let me know. This is a 1909 Buick Touring model. And I might do this in a couple of parts. Look at how they've got this all situated here. I think that this is, well, I thought it was maybe snack lunches, but then I thought, no, maybe it's oil or gasoline or something. I don't know. It could be that there is oil, gasoline, and kerosene. Huh. If anybody knows, drop me a comment. This talks about carbide gas lights to electric in 1914. And yeah, I don't know. Oregon was the first state to establish a gas tax in 1919 of 1 cent per gallon. 1910 Stanley steamer with a tonneau cover. This is genuine leather and oh, it's so nice. You can smell it. 1911 Ford T Runabout. Look at that. These are all, they've had some restoration done, but they're not like all done. And this has got to be the narrowest car I've seen. It's like there's room for one person here and one person in the back, maybe two if they're super friendly. This is called a Priscilla Coupe. Best known, most successful electric car because it's tall china cabinet-like body. And I'm guessing it's because it's a very female-looking car. It's got the driver thing there, and I think that you drive it with a stick thing. I'm not really sure. I can just see some little old lady with Gibson hairstyle all done up and tootling around town in this. Can you? Oh, look, I just found an ad we can look at. "1917 Dort touring car." And I did ask him, and he said those are for scraping the mud off your shoes. That little divot on the back there. This is a Cadillac Club Roadster from 1917 with a beautiful red paint job. Pretty blue on this 1919 Chevrolet four-door touring car. It's hard to miss that it's a Chevy, huh? This is Dodge Brothers from 1920. It's a Series 30 touring car. And now let's just pause and look back down. See, we've come that far. We've missed all this stuff on the side. But again, that's for a different day. I'm guessing that there might be some ceiling leaks here, which is sad, and I'm sure they're going to fix that at some point. This is cool. Tagley Calliophone. The Tagley Calliophone is an air-driven version of the original steam Calliope. Neat. Oh, look at this little, sort of like a 1860s fireplace, and then they've set it up with like as a 1900s sitting room. A living room, also called a sitting room, is a room in a residential house or apartment for relaxing and entertaining, sometimes called a front room when it's near the main entrance in the front of the house. Yeah, pretty cool. 1920 Chandler Model 14 four-door touring car. And you can't see it. It doesn't do it any justice, but it's got a beautiful blue paint job, and this car is massive. Thus, it's a touring car. And look up this aisle as well. Look at all these cars, you guys. They're all very nicely cleaned. This is a Magic Lantern Miroscope. I know, I told you guys I wouldn't get I was going to try to not get too sidetracked, but I couldn't help it. To operate the engine, turn the knob clockwise. Willys Knight sleeve valve engine. We're going to wait and do that a different day. This is a 23 Willys Knight Model 67 touring car. Again, the size of these things is massive. This, though, is just cute. I can imagine me and one other person just toddling around. And look at the size of the trunk on that thing. 1924 Rickenbacker. 20 to 29 four-wheel mechanical brakes gradually replace two-wheel brakes, significantly improving your stoppability. 4- and 6-cylinder engines became the standard. Some even offered 8 and 12s. Low-pressure balloon tires replaced the more narrow high-pressure variations. The first motor hotel, later known as a motel, opened in San Luis Obispo, California in 1925. They were a driving force in increased cross-country vacations and business trips. By 1929, there were 44 automobile manufacturers in the U.S., which produced 27 million cars, 78% of the world's automotive production. The Automotive Blue Book in 1924. GoPro, start recording. So, we got through the first part, the first leg of the museum, and apparently my GoPro is now cranky again. This is where we're at. We are currently in 1927 as far as the evolution of the cars, and these things are still massive touring cars in beautiful greens and blues and tans. They are gorgeous. Leather interiors. This is a Page, as you can see. 1927 Dodge Brothers Series 124 sedan. And don't worry if you see something I don't go into detail on, people, because we are going to be back because this place is freaking huge. There's no way I would be able to get all of this in today. Anyway, there's a 1929 Buick Series 121 to my left, that red car there. To my right is a lighter blue color 28 Pontiac four-door Sport Phaeton. This, no idea because I've already passed the placard, but nonetheless, very cool. Beautiful coloring. Sitting on a very flat tire. I don't mind that though. They've very nicely cleaned these up, and I think it's pretty impressive how they can get all these things tucked in here where they need to be. Look at how this has the little turn indicators up here. Isn't that cool? I don't know why that tickles me. Does not have any rear view mirrors though. Apparently that was a later add-on. General Motors designers at work. Clay models. They made them out of clay and then they do the full-size run. 1929 Cord, four-door sedan. Look at those colors together. Isn't that beautiful? If you come to Tacoma, this is 5 minutes away from my house. Yep. I like how they have little chalk outlines of where things are supposed to be. Lets me know that they run them around all the time or they move things around. And this is pretty much a climate-controlled building. 29 Windsor White Prince Roadster here in front of me. This two-tone aqua-colored car with some yellow accent on its spoked rims with white sidewalls. And it's definitely a touring car. You can see it's got its back seat popped up. Yeah. If you look back over here, we have a 29 Plymouth U-Series coupe. If you have any of these that you want me to look at in more detail in a further video, please do, because we will be coming back. 30 to 39 closed cars outsold open cars, roadsters and phaetons, by a 10-to-1 margin. First drive-in movie theater opened in 33. Oklahoma City installed first parking meters in 35. Hydraulic four-wheel brakes replaced mechanical brakes, providing better stopping. Sealed beam headlights were introduced in 39. Better lighting in adverse conditions. This is a Stutz four-door sedan. Beautiful, gorgeous blue color and a blue cloth interior. White sidewalls, huge. Didn't catch the hang tag on this one, but it's, as you can see, a city cab, still with his little doohickey inside to take more money. 1930 LaSalle, still a roadster section here. Beautiful. Cadillac series. This is the first Cadillac we've seen. Hang on, put some stuff in my pocket. I got to go for a ride around in a Model T. It was a lot of fun. 35 Nash Lafayette Business Coupe. Beautiful coloring. Beautiful. And this one across the way is pretty much the same colorway. This had a cloth interior, and it looks like it's smaller than the previous road touring cars. This is a boat tail speedster we're coming up here on my right. And on my left, we're going to see a 34 Chevy Standard. A boat tail speedster refers to the fact that that looks like a boat in the back. But like I don't remember what I said this is. It's a 34 Chevy Standard, which means this is your basic line, I guess. But look at that. Oh, I'd be proud to own that, wouldn't you? It has the pop top that you could put down or up as needed. 28 Packard Roadster. Harley Davidson. Who doesn't like that? Here's a 1920s kitchen, and with a little jumpy thing for the baby. Keep you underfoot while your mom's working on stuff. This 31 Harley has a 500cc engine in it and has a flathead engine with a side valve design. This got a 1918 White Frost refrigerator in here in this kitchen mock-up. and an old Hoosier cabinet in the back. My mom always wanted one of those, and that's why I know where that is. Look at the back of this old Chevy Standard. Isn't that cool? Ah. Follow that car. Gangsters, bootleggers, and prohibitionists marked the 20s and 30s. Federal agents and police found themselves trying to catch up with the powerful automobiles. Another little kitchen mock-up situation here from the 1930s this time. The last one we looked at was from the 20s. Now we're going to walk down this way, and we're going to go quickly, so keep up. 1936 Auburn convertible sedan. Supercharged, as you can see. Beautiful. Oh. Gordon Burig, one of history's most influential designers, designed that. Actually, you know, we're going to come back up this way, so we're going to look at this side. 37 Chrysler with a 4-door setup. I believe that's black, and it's very beautiful. Fender skirts. I hadn't seen anything up to now with fender skirts on it. 37 Lincoln Zephyr. I'm also kind of going quickly because we're going to run out of battery on the phone at some point. This is a 37 Packard. And now we're going with a cloth interior. 38 Chevy Master Deluxe. Again, the cloth interior, but boy, it looks plush. Suicide doors and some red pinstriping. 38 Graham Custom with a supercharger, as you can see. And look at this front end here. This is just really interesting. Bulbous looking. Yep. Wow. Again, with some fender skirts. Lots of times people would take those off and just get rid of them. So those are pretty amazing to have. 1939 Buick Century. It's got a cover over its spare tire. 40 to 49. Beginning in January 42, priority for resources went to the military. Resulting cars were known as blackout because all metals was replaced by other stuff. February 28th, the last day most civilians could buy a new car till the war was over. To conserve gas, 40 miles an hour was the national speed limit. Late in 45, they produced the 1946 models, essentially the ones from 1942, but with minor changes. And in 49, Cadillac and Oldsmobile introduced the V8, a large-bore, short-stroke, high-compression, overhead valve engine. 1940 Ford Deluxe. Look at this baby. Has anybody ever seen that movie called Swing Shift with Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell? I love that movie. 1940 Cadillac Series 90. Looks like it has all the bells and whistles. And this is some stuff, probably engines for aircraft. And we are not looking at those today. 44 Nash Ambassador 8, that beige car. Yep. Hands off, please. Wow. Look at this. It's got little doohickeys for your snackies. You all know that I'm a snacky person. It's got a DeSoto Suburban. I like how this has looked well loved. It was on Happy Days. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. 48 DeSoto Custom. Another one. It's got a leather and cloth interior. I'm guessing that they had a car here that they moved for some purpose or other. I know that they rent their cars out here for shows and that kind of stuff, or movies and things like that. Look at the inside on this. And if you look at this part on the other side, you can see that it's been artistically painted. I thought it looked pretty cool. And here's some vintage war stamps. That makes sense. The car we looked at with the plaid was called a Chrysler Highlander. Convertibles are just not practical here in the Pacific Northwest because there's so much of the year you just can't use them. This is a two-tone Graham. Let me find the particulars on it for you. Graham Hollywood, 1941, four-door sedan. Howard Darren was an auto designer to the stars. Fiberglass, 1954, Kaiser Darren sports car. Huh. I'm guessing they're... I don't know if that's because there's ceiling leaks or what. Truly unfortunate. There's one right there. It's a good thing they caught it. It's a 1940 Packard. Gordon Burig. We talked about this earlier, I believe. 1940 Chrysler Crown Imperial. Ooh, it's catching some leaks too. I'll mention that to them. Yeah. Anyway, this looks like a Cadillac to me. My mother had one like this, but it was blue. And here's a 57 Chevy Bel Air. Pretty sure it's 57. 56. Oh, my dad had one of these. He backed it into Lake Washington. He was putting the boat in the water. I remember that. It was a big fight in the car that day. These are so pretty, aren't they? I think we're going the wrong way here. Oh, well. I think that's because I went up one side and down the other on the last aisle instead of just looking at both sides at once. But look at this. This is pretty cool. This one is a Statesman Super 6 from 1951. This is very pretty, isn't it? Not really my favorite color, but pretty. 49 Kaiser Deluxe. This must be an Olds Super 8, I'm guessing. Let's see if I'm right. Oh, Buick Super Convertible. Very pretty. Wow, I like this. I hear water falling somewhere else. Hmm. 50 to 59. In 1950, there were 40 million cars in the U.S. 60% of American households owned cars. The construction of the interstate highway system began in 53, and by the late 50s, automobiles had become longer, lower, and wider. Lots of chrome, powerful engines, and fins became typical. Look at that. That's gorgeous. '49 Oldsmobile Futurama 88. Beautiful stuff here, people. And this car has been on historic Route 66, I'm guessing. An AMC Gremlin. How cute. Isn't it cute? Well, okay. Now, isn't it cute? Yeah. Cool stuff here, people. Collections, collections, and more collections. I think that's set up for the other way. So let's go this way. 80 to 89. We're going out of sequence here. During the 80s, many technical improvements. Minivan was introduced, and lightweight materials were used. 51 Mercury, four-door sports sedan. Look at this thing. Oh my gosh. Oh, so pretty. 84 Lincoln custom car. It's a nice fade paint job on that, isn't it? I don't know if you can see it as well as I can, but there's two different colors of flame on it, and it's over a changeable metal flake color. 23 Ford Model T T-Bucket. And remember, I was saying earlier that you too could learn how to drive a Model T. you could pay and come here and take lessons for one day. Look at that, that's so cute. Yeah, I like it in here. It smells like old cars and cool stuff. They do. They just have a plethora of cool things to look at. And they've done a really careful job of making sure that this is all in a sensible way. Because I think you can see that given that this entire building is filled with cars, to just have them in here all willy-nilly would be very disturbing to try to feel like you'd seen it and be able to make sense of it. And yeah, but they've done a really nice job of getting everything in here. 55 Chevrolet sedan delivery, Frankenstein. Look at that paint. Ooh, that's so pretty. See? Thus the Frankenstein name. Pretty cool. DeSoto Custom Roadster. Huh, this is interesting. Those are apparently the fenders with lights on them. Some more accessory lights over there by the radiator. Alice Cooper, designed by the late Richard Fletcher. After having traveled around a lot in his youth, Fletcher, similar to George Barris, went to Phoenix in '79, where he became a manufacturer of special cars. This is the Gothic coach. Needs the wiring to be running and driving. How cool. Look at all these interesting things. And see, this is I think it's so cool the way they have done all of this attention to detail and arranged all these things in a meaningful way. And I was talking to that gentleman, and he said that this is all pretty much done by the volunteers. There's nobody that has a real master plan to it. It's just that they have a vision, and they're getting that vision together, and it's constantly evolving. And I really dig that, and I kind of want to be a part of it. 210 and beyond. What do you predict will be next? I don't know. Here's a 428, though. It's a Dodge Charger Hemi. Beautiful. Oh. Wouldn't you give your eye teeth to have one of these? Oh, my. Father of the Thunderbird. So much to see, you guys. They had not had all these things arranged like this the last time I was in here, so it was quite a bit more chaotic to try, like I said, to make sense of it. But pretty cool. This is I don't know how this quite fits in other than, it's a thing of the times, and it would have been buried in somebody's backyard as a civil defense shelter. And in the event of a bomb, they thought they could have gone and lived in here with their entire family underground for however long in the event of an atomic attack. I don't know how realistic that is, but I don't know. Hopefully it'll never happen. I know it didn't then. I have great hopes for the future. Great hopes and large dreams. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video or conglomeration of videos enough to like, comment, and subscribe, okay? Okay. I will talk to you soon. Have a good day. Don't forget to hit the bell on the way out. I know, it's really gray out today. But anyway, that took us through the Green Building, otherwise known as Union Station, over at the Lemays collection at Marymount. There's a lot more to be seen, a lot more video of me riding around in a Model T and looking at the Rodin Sculpture Garden, and a lot of other little bits and pieces, which I'll share with you as soon as I can figure out how to patch them together. But anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this today. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell. And now, as far as what my day looks like, I have to go pack for Forgotten Angels because it's going to be time to go hop on a plane pretty soon. And I hope to see you all there. Okay? Bye.